This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is Kevin Tomlinson. He is the president and CEO of C3 Metals Inc. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is CCCM on the TSX Venture. And he'll actually be doing an investor presentation at the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually and in person this year, September 8th through the 11th. With that, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm great, Robert. Thanks a lot for the time. It's exciting times for us all.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us. So this is actually our first time doing an interview together. So, if can you please provide us a quick overview and history of the company?
Yeah, sure. C3 Metals started out as a company way back called Carube Metals, and the premier project in the group is Jasperoidy, and that was acquired a couple of years ago through the acquisition of a company called LARG. And about a year ago, the company changed its name to C3 Metals, which is Carube Copper Company Metals. So that's where the C3 comes from. And exploring in Peru, drilling right now, and we're about to start drilling in Jamaica, of all places.
Very good. So what would you say makes the company and these projects, both in Peru and also now in Jamaica, unique and different compared to your peers out there?
I think on a project level, what attracted me to join in January really was the grade. The grade at Jasperoidy is outstanding. It's 1 to 5 to 15% copper with associated gold starting pretty close to surface. We're only 30-40 kilometers away from Las Bambas and Constancia, where all the big boys play. So it's an absolutely outstanding jurisdiction. I think that's one of the things, and it's a project that it had 4 years of exploration only in the last 27 years. So it kind of was a sleeper sitting in the box that nobody really knew about. And I think that's what's really surprised the market. And I think on Jamaica side, most people don't know, and I never did really, that there was a lot of copper and gold previously explored for and developed by the Brits and the Spanish way back when. There is obviously aluminum production there, but those, I think, as we start evolving and telling people about Jamaica, people will be very surprised at the grades and the potential there as well.
Very good. And what's your background? I mean, as you said, when you joined the company, it sounds like relatively recently. What's your background? How'd you come into all this?
Yeah, well, I'm a geologist originally. Did my my first degree in Canada in Thunder Bay, and then went down to Australia and did my master's in structural geology, and then worked in the industry for 15, 20 years in mining and exploration for large open pit deposits and high grade gold and nickel. And then moved into the corporate world and moved over to London into banking for 15 years or so. Finance, Sentiment, Egypt, Cisco, Semaphore, and all those in the day. And then moved into professional board attendance. And, again, I was on Sentiment. I'm the chairman of Bellevue Gold and Cardinal Resources, which we had an epic battle for, selling that off to the Chinese eventually. So it's been a sort of an interesting career.
To say the least, it sounds like. I think that's going to be another couple hours of interview down the road.
No.
So then to close us out here, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now moving forward?
Well, I really think the drilling's absolutely outstanding. It's been a bit slower than we'd hoped because of COVID and assay returns, but every set of results we're getting are really nice. They stand out, and the thickness is 100 to 150 meters wide. 1 to 1.5% copper plus gold. So we're really excited by that. We've just completed airborne magnetics in Jasperoidy in Peru. We've also engaged now. We've got our first 5 days of IP surveys done. So there's some brilliant targets coming out there. And I think the big catalyst for us will not only be the oxide skarn, but we're looking for the porphyry causative intrusive that's brought that mineralization up to the surface. So that'll be the next phase. And then when we start engaged in Jamaica, we're going to be drilling there for the big porphyries as well, and also the high grade epithermal vein systems.
Very good. Well, with that, Kevin, where can our audience go and find more information about C3 Metals?
Well, like every company these days, we're sort of on all the social networks, but our website's a really good host for information. And then we've also got really a pretty dynamic LinkedIn profile where we try to keep everybody up to date on not only our company, but what's happening in the sector.
Very good. And that's c3metals.com. Kevin,
That's correct.
Kevin, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Right on. Thanks, Robert. Good on you, man.
Thank you again. My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And we're proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek hybrid event this year, happening September 8th through the 11th. Kevin will be there giving a presentation, and thank you for listening.